Heating and air conditioning, HVAC for residential uses, some commercial applications. Question when dealing with thermostats, thermostat wiring, blower motor, etc. Some of these terms can seem arcane to the layman. However, they're fairly easy terms once one begins to understand the holistic aspect of the heating and air conditioning. It becomes it seems to become more simple. So, question: the temperature now is on the upswing. So, and in the south here, the humidity is starting to get high. So, temperature to the agitation state, June and July. So we're into the first of the hot weather here. So you fire the HVAC system up perhaps, and once you do, nothing happens. Okay, there are a couple scenarios here. One, you walk over to your thermostat and it is just completely dead. So you're like, I'm bewildered here. What do I do next? Well, keep it simple. Do not lose your composure. It's generally the simple things, not the complicated things. So, so first thing, in my opinion, is take the face off and change and put some good batteries in your thermostat. Make sure your batteries are working. Now, this is a good practice to do on a yearly basis or on an annual basis. Make sure. So, I also like, personally, my opinion is to add a common wire, but different HVAC guys would do it differently. And it's not to say that one is right, the other's wrong, etc. Sometimes just because one does it one way and another one does it another way doesn't mean one's bad, the other one's good. But it's just the way people kind of get in the groove of doing things. So once you've changed the batteries on the thermostat, if the face of it lights up, then, and if you haven't felt any blowing or airflow through the thermostat, one can take a piece of notebook paper, say 8.5 by 11 sheet, hold it lightly between their index finger and their thumb, and flip it to fan only, and go over there and hold it about 4 to 6 inches away from the register. And one should note the fan should start flopping. And one can take the piece of paper to the return duct and hold it, and the return duct should suck it up against the grate or the louvers. So if that way you don't, but if you don't sense that your blower motor may be coming on, one can, with the face to the thermostat, one has these wires here. So a process of elimination or processes of elimination, one can take the thermostat off. Be sure when doing this to kill the power with the air handler, because you do not want to short this thing out and blow your transformer. But then when you get it back, you can remove the red wire, the 24 volt. You can remove the green wire, which is your fan wire. So simply then what would one do? One would take these two wires here and simply just take shave the end, it should be shaved, and just simply wind these together and connect these two wires together. And once you do this and actually connect the red and the green together, okay, on with the copper, this area here, tie this wire to this and this wire to this, so this wire would be connected. Then go throw your power, and then do your check to see if your blower motor's coming on. So if your blower motor comes on at this point, then you may know that your blower motor's good and your thermostat's bad. Thermostats may not often go bad, but sometimes they still do. So that's a kind of a difficult question to address. But notwithstanding, when this comes on, if you wind these together and you have power, Once you have power and your blower motor doesn't come on, then you've got a problem with either your blower motor or a relay or something to do on downstream. So at this point, then one has to, at this point, you're probably going to have to hire a technician who is skilled in the wiring and all kinds of the intricacies of an HVAC system, because sometimes if you're not careful, you can take these wires and get them jumbled up and get them crossed up, and then it can make a simple job more of a complex job, because the technician has to try to figure out to undo what one has already done. So sometimes it pays to just pay somebody who is skilled in this area. And then and another thing, if you take and put your voltmeter on volts with these separated, and then you put it on here, you should you may be able to pull, let's see, I think you should at least get 24 volts off of the red, I know. And then but if the but I'm not certain on this, because this, well, technically you would get 24 volts off of the red and perhaps the common, but then this would have 24 volts, and that's the reason you would tie it to the green. So I'm not sure that you would have voltage here, but when you take this 24 volts here, this thermostat is simply kind of like an open relay like this. Once you tie these wires together, this 24 volt jumps to this side, and then it energizes the fan. So this is just a good way to diagnose, and to diagnose into a process of elimination whether the thermostat is bad, or whether the HVAC blower motor is bad, or a blower motor relay, or something along those lines. So just something very simple. But again, just take precaution when kill the power at the air handler before you start doing wires, because if you touch the red and the blue wire, then you've got trouble on your hands, and that's an issue for another video. So anyway, so thank you for watching. If you find any of these videos useful, like, and they seem to help, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and have a great day. Thank you.